RBS Six Nations launch with Sam Warburton, captain of Wales. Welcome to SportsvibeTV.
Cheers.
How much are you looking forward to this Six Nations?
I love the Six Nations. It's my fourth campaign now, and they just seem to get better and better. You know, every stage you play at is always packed out. You can tell the fans have that extra bit of excitement when it comes to Six Nations games, and particularly home matches from a Welsh perspective. Almost the whole country stops just to watch Wales play. So it's it's a great competition to be involved with. The last two we had some great success, and hopefully we can have the same this year round as well.
How big is it starting in Cardiff for that first game with the home crowd after the way last year ended? So a new campaign this year. How big will that be?
It's very important. You know, we know firsthand how important momentum is, and last year we won the first game, the second game, the third. You start turning up the training, things get a little bit easier, a little less pressure, and you enjoy yourself a lot more. And it's a lot easier to play well when you're enjoying yourself. So I'm sure every nation will be putting a lot of pressure on that first weekend's match, and we don't really know what sort of team's going to turn up until then. So that first game was really important for momentum and to get on winning ways. And after that first match, we got 3 away games, so it suddenly becomes very difficult if we had lost that first match. So it's very important we do win that.
And what's the mood like in the camp at the moment?
It's very good. You know, it's always good. The Welsh boys always a good bunch to be around, and even though the back end of last year didn't go the way we liked, it wasn't long ago. Before we had some really good performances. Obviously in the Six Nations, the summer tour was very close. That's the thing with international rugby. The last 7 games we've lost have been by 1 or 2 or 3 points, and it's just a fine line between having a good performance and winning, and sometimes they just don't come in hand, results and performances. So hopefully we get some results this time round, and we're expecting some very, very close battles at the same time. And
Rob Howley's now the head coach. How has he come in and changed things differently? Obviously he was involved with Warren anyway, but anything different that you can say?
Well, Rob's a familiar face, and Rob being head coach of Six Nations now, it's great for Rob that he's got that role. But from a player's perspective, the environment we've trained in and the environment we created from the past few years hasn't changed much. You know, most of the backroom staff they're all the same. So other than Warren, nothing else has changed. And Warren will be missed. He's a great coach, and he's had a massive influence on all the players and management of the squad. But really happy with Rob as our head coach. I'm sure he'll do a great job.
And from your perspective, there's a bit of chat in terms of the back row, potentially playing a couple of number 7s. How would you see yourself fitting in there? Will you stay at 7, move to 6?
I'm not sure really. Those conversations I haven't had yet. The coaches haven't spoken to us about moving players across the back row in training or whatever. I've sort of read it more in the press than I have in training, but we've probably got 6 or 7 back rows named, all of which can play more than one position, and most of them have done for Wales in the past. I've played 6 and 7, Toby, Aaron Shingler, Josh Turnbull, we've all played. You can kind of move around the back row, so it'll be interesting to see what combinations they do pick. A lot depends on tactics and what your goal is for the game. If you're playing a pretty big pack, you're more than likely going to need maybe a bigger, heavier weight back row with more ball carrying sort of capabilities. But if you're playing a more expansive, looser game, you can afford to maybe play 2 7s. So I guess it depends on your opposition and your game plan, but there's certainly room for manoeuvre there. And
do you see this Six Nations as a key series for your captaincy in terms of your legacy, as the captain coming in from a Grand Slam one, not in great form, and then moving on from there?
Yeah, it's a different challenge, because last year we entered the Six Nations off the back of a good World Cup, and it was a lot easier. Where we've lost 7 games and coming in not as the formed team over the past sort of 6 months, there's a different scenario to be in. But it's a challenge I'm looking forward to. We're still reigning champions, and we'll take great confidence from that.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
No problem. Cheers.
Cheers.